depends on what day you took it. They make you wait 30 days, so whatever 30 days is, then you can take it again.
We took it last.
So probably the first one we took probably is ready to do again if anybody missed the first one.
I'll just say no. I will not be in, almost forgot, I won't be in tomorrow. Just a FYI.
All right. What's going on with you tomorrow?
I have a delivery that I have to wait between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. of furniture. So,
Okay. Well, you said, did you catch up on your own?
yeah.
Same with you. Okay? All right, we're gonna go through this. They can, I'll lock the door, and then next time they'll be back on time.
Yeah, we've been sleeping on the floor for a month, so.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Guys, can you be back on time from now on, please? All right. Everybody on 1337, chapter 113? We're half a day behind, so we gotta get moving, right? This chapter covers tires and wheels. As you probably figured out by now, just by reading it, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go through all of these learning objectives here as far as purpose and function of the tires, parts of the tire, how to describe how it's constructed, the different lettering and numbers on the tires, to talk about tire sizes, load index, rating, specification, and grading, tire canicity, and vehicle handling, spare tires and run flat tires. Tire selection considerations, what to do and what not to do. Construction and sizing of steel and alloy wheels, attaching hardware. This is going to be your A4 for your ASE, okay? Purpose of the tire. Should be pretty obvious, I would hope. Okay, to provide traction between the tire and the road, determine the handling characteristics of the vehicle. The tires can act as a shock absorber when driving over rough surfaces. Friction or traction between the wheels and the road. If you notice, if you've ever driven a car with big rims on it and it's got real skinny tires on them, the sidewall about that big, they ride like a forklift. Totally ruins your ride of your car, wears out the brakes. Doesn't do anything fun, but apparently some people think it looks really cool. Okay? Tread, that's the part of the tire that contacts the ground. Everybody's familiar with that. Sidewall is the part between the tread and the wheel. And the bead is the foundation of the tire, is located where it grips the inside of the rim. Body ply, these are your parts of the tire, okay? Layers of material wrapped around the beads underneath the tread and sidewall rubber. This creates the main framework or carcass of the tire. The belts are 2 or more layers of material applied over the body plies and under the tread area. Stabilize the tread, increase tread life and handling. You have an inner liner and a major splice. The inner liner is a soft rubber lining, usually butyl rubber compound. The inside of the tire that protects the tire body plies and helps provide a self-sealing for small punctures. When the tire is assembled by a craftsman on a tire building machine, the body plies, belts, and tread and rubber are all spliced together. Everybody's familiar with the tread depth gauge, right?
Yes.
Okay. Measured in 30 seconds of an inch. Okay. What's a good tire tread? Well, at what point would you recommend replacing tires if you were checking the
4.
tread?
4, 3.
Below 4? Yeah, is that what they tell you at the dealer?
Yeah, with the front view is
4 and above.
Uh-huh.
And the rail is, I think, correct.
Okay. You familiar with wear bars or wear indicators on tires?
Mhm.
Okay, obviously if the tread gets down even with that, the tire is worn out. It's legally not supposed to be driven on after that. Okay, that's what they call the legal limit, 2/32 of an inch. Okay, the tire tread runs around the circumference of the tire. Pattern helps maintain traction, provide grip, while the grooves direct water on the road away from the surface. And the sides help grip the tire to the road. So those grooves in the tires are basically to channel water away from the tire, right? Hydroplaning, everybody's familiar with that term, right?
Yes.
Can occur at speeds as low as 30 miles per hour. The water is deep enough and the tire tread cannot evacuate water through the grooves fast enough. They can be lifted off the road by a layer of water. Just a little bit of tire construction there.
Even if you got like a lot of tread, you still hydroplane.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You don't matter if you got brand new tires.
Doesn't even matter if you got brand new tires, it'll still happen. If there's so much water on the road that the grooves in the tire can't displace the water, you're gonna get a bead of water underneath the tire and it's gonna start hydroplaning, start sliding, right? This is what they call the major splice. If you're looking on the inside of a tire, you can actually see where they put the tire together.
So that's just to go slow in the rain.
Yep, exactly. 7 major types of the tire. Tread, sidewall, bead, body plate, belt, interliner, and the major splice. Okay, this goes through a little bit of tire building. We don't have to worry too much about this. It just tells you basically how tires are made. After it's been assembled by the tire building machine, it's called a green tire. Kind of like a green banana. It's not really ready to eat yet, right?
Yep.
Anybody like green bananas? No?
I don't like bananas in general.
What's that?
I don't like bananas in general.
You don't like bananas at all, huh? Okay, well, in that case, you don't care what color it
I like the black ones.
is. Do you? Like when they start getting spotted?
Yep.
That's when they're the best, right?
That's why it's so sour.
Okay, the completed green tire is placed in a mold where its shape, tread design, and the sidewall or markings are formed. While it's in the mold, a steam bladder fills the inside of the tire, forces against the outside of the mold. It's no longer a green tire, it's a cured tire. Okay, we don't have to worry too much about that. Tire has been assembled. Again, okay. After 1990, if the tire was built after that, a service description method on the sidewall of the tire is included in International Standards Organization. It's going to include the tire size, the load, the speed rating, all together in one easy-to-read format. Everybody's seen that, right? If you have a P.1337-1357 tire, the P stands for what? Don't know?
No.
Means it's a passenger car tire, okay? That's what the P is. 205 is the cross-sectional area. The 75 is the aspect ratio. The H is the speed rating. The R means it's a radial construction. And the 15 is the rim diameter. Don't see too many 15-inch tires anymore, do you? Or 15-inch rims. Most of them are 17 and up, right? All right. Tire size designation includes cross-sectional width, aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is a proportional relationship between the width and height of the tire, expressed as a percentage. Cross-sectional view of the tire, typical, showing the triple tire terminology. High flotation tires, those are for light trucks, designed to give you a little bit better off-road performance, sand, mud, soft soil, stuff like that. Still provide acceptable hard road surface performance. High flotation tires have tire size designations such as 3312-5R, and LT would be light truck at the end of that. How much bigger can I go? When changing tire size, there's many things to consider. A lot of people don't consider anything except what it looks like. This is what I want, I don't care about anything else, right? Seen that happen too many times, right? Tires should be about the same outside diameter as the original to maintain proper suspension, steering, and ride height specifications. Tire sizes can affect vehicle speed sensor values, your auto-lock brake system, your transmission operation, and the operation of your anti-lock brake system, wheel speed sensors, all that. Generally, a tire that is 10 millimeters wider is acceptable. So if you look at the picture here, notice that the overall outside diameter of the tire remains almost the same. At the same time, the aspect ratio is decreased and the rim diameter is increased. Okay. You want to measure a tire, I guess, well, you can do it like that. You don't really care about that. Okay, load index. Abbreviation method to indicate the load carrying capabilities of the tire. Okay? If you have a load index of 80, that means that tire is capable of 992 pounds. That is not vehicle weight, that's per tire. Okay? That means that car could weigh about 4,000 pounds with those tires and be fine, right? Typical sidewire motor for load index and speed rating. Load index, that number, the speed rating is the H. That tire is good for 130 miles per hour with an H there. Most high-performance cars have Z-rated tires on them, which really don't have a speed rating on them. As you can see at the bottom of this chart, a Z-rated tire is pretty much open-ended. That means they tell you, you can go as fast as you want on a Z-rated tire.
But you can't put a Z-rated tire on a regular car, though.
If you put the proper size on there, you certainly could. Yeah. Why not?
So you can
If
basically.
they make the tire in the size that fits your car, you could do that, sure.
So you can get any custom tires on any vehicle,
Depends on, sometimes there's certain ones that they just don't make, but, yeah.
generally.
Yeah,
Oh,
so, a lot of times, you'll see vehicles that, I've had people complain about this before. I was taking a trip, and I got to like 99 miles per hour, and my car just wouldn't go any faster. It just, the governor just kind of shuts it off and won't let it go any faster. I tell them, here's the problem right here. Sometimes they calibrate the PCM in the vehicle to the tire speed rating. So if you had a tire on your car that's rated for 112 miles per hour, they're typically not going to let the car go any faster than that.
that's why a
So
lot
you
of people
can't get
can't
yourself
outrun the
in trouble.
cops.
What's that?
That's why a lot of people can't outrun the cops.
Most of the time they can't outrun the cops because they're crappy drivers, and it's hard to outrun the radio anyway.
You can run that cops, right?
My car tops out at 115, so it wasn't that.
What's that?
My car tops out at 115, so.
They won't go any faster than that?
no.
Okay, well, here's probably why. You probably got a S or a T rated tire on it. All tires should be inflated to the specifications given by the manufacturer. Where do you find the proper tire inflation on a car?
The sticker.
On the sticker, not the tire,
Yeah.
okay? Most of the figures are written in the owner's manual, placard, or sticker on the doorpost, glove box, something like that. Right there. Cold tire pressure. Don't look at what the tire says on it, go by the sticker on the doorpost, or wherever it happens to be, okay? Rim width and tire size, the difference between the distance between the tire flanges, sometimes called flange to flange width. As a general rule, for a given rim, it's best not to change it more than 10 millimeters, narrower or wider. Installing a tire that's too wide or too narrow will cause undesired tire wear. Okay, we don't have to worry about the Department of Transportation, highway safety and all that. But they do grade the tires in 3 areas of performance: tread wear, traction, temperature resistance. which you will also see on that uniform tire grading system. So if you have a 400 tread wear, that tire should be good for about 80,000 miles unless you are an aggressive driver. Traction, same thing here. Traction performance is rated by the letters A, B, C, A being the highest. Temperature rating, same thing. There you go. Here's your tread wear number, your traction A, temperature A, printed on the sidewall. All the things on the side of your tire actually mean something.
I got a question.
Yeah,
What are those little spline things that come out the sides, the little stick things?
Little rubber things?
Yeah.
oh, it's just, when they make the tire, those things just, I guess when the rubber's hot and they're putting the tire together, they just kind
Those all
of,
kind of get stuck. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Someone told me a while ago that had a purpose too, and they couldn't tell me what it was.
No, there's no
They just
purpose
knew
to
it was a
them.
purpose or something.
After you drive about 50 miles, they're all gone anyway.
Okay. Because I used to pluck them off.
Yeah, you're not hurting anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, also the date the tire was made is gonna be on the sidewall as well.
DOT.
What's that?
The DOT.
Normally you'll see that like this right here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay? See where it says, what does that say?
The week and the
April
year.
2000. Oh, 04, yeah, no, actually that's not right.
That's the
That's the fourth week of 2001.
Oh, okay.
So the first two digits are the week the tire was built, the last two are the year.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that would be the fourth week of 2001, somewhere January, February.
So that tire older than me?
That's an old tire, yeah. Okay, what's on there for the tire grading system? Okay,
Tread order direction. Oh.
you ever see a tire that says M&S on it? That's just mud and snow.
I love it when people in the South get snow tires because it's cheaper and it saves them money.
Yeah.
What happens if you drive snow tires?
What's that?
What happens if you drive snow tires in summer?
It wears them. They don't last.
Um,
They're snow tires.
If
for
it's
snow.
a regular mud and snow tire like that, nothing. It's fine. You don't want studded tires though. They do make studded snow tires. Definitely don't want to drive those on anything but snow. Okay. Let's see, DOT tire code requires, see if there's anything exciting here. Uses tire damage can be curb, chuck holes, other common occurrences on public roads. Yeah, some of the tires don't hold up to that very well.
How about the different designs of tires?
What's that?
You know, I see some tires have like only like 2 tread lines in the middle, and that's it.
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah,
the
yeah.
ones that look like V's, like
Mhm.
all around.
Mhm.
What are those?
There's a million different tread patterns, but sometimes they'll make a DOT or a street legal race tire, like drag race tire, call them drag radials. And they'll have just like a little bit of tread and a lot of, like, almost like a combination between a drag slick and a tire. But those are just basically street legal race tires. Yeah. Okay. Each tire that has a DOT approved molded number on the sidewall, it just requires it to be safe in all these conditions. Starting with January 2000, tire build dates include 4 digits rather than 3. So the new code, like 3406, that would mean it was built on 34th week of 2006. If you ever go to a tire store and you want a tire fixed, one of the first things they're gonna do is they're gonna look at the date that tire was made. And if it's too old, they won't touch it. They're just gonna tell you need a new tire. That tire was built the 12th week of 2015, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what's conicity? Anybody heard that word before? It basically refers to a kind of a cone shape on the tire. Okay? It can occur during the construction of any radial or belted tire where the parts of the tire are badly positioned, causing the tire to be smaller in diameter on one side. So that's basically a manufacturing defect.
Can it also be caused just by how people, you know, use their tires? Because like how we talking about it last week,
Uh-huh.
people stancing their cars and the tread only wears on one side.
Yep, yep, after a while, the tire will wear in that cone shape, yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Even if you lower your vehicle, right?
If you lower
It
it-
depends on how much. If you just do it a little bit, probably not gonna hurt anything.
One of my coworkers' cars is pretty low. One time I saw him on the road driving, and then he hit a bump and went like,
His is
and
static.
he texted me, he's like, is it this? And I said, you scraped really hard. He's like, no, that's my tires. And I'm like,
There's no
no,
telling.
that's not.
People do some crazy things to their cars.
Mhm.
And it's a Sonata out of all cars.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
what?
A Sonata, a Hyundai.
Sonata.
Oh, yeah,
He's doing a little too much for that car.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, some people are just, you know, it's all about, you know, what they think is cool, they don't care, you know, if it drives like crap or if it's wearing parts out, or,
I like lowering the car, but not too much.
yeah,
The point is,
exactly,
like,
little bit's cool,
Yeah,
depending
but
on the car, you know,
not
but
to the point that it's scraping or-
you can get extreme with anything and then it just becomes stupid.
My buddy has a LS 400, the Lexus.
Uh-huh,
It's the VIP version, so it has like the curtains and the chandelier, the little fridge in the back and everything. And he tried to, well, he did make it look like the, you know, the VIP stance cars in Japan. He hasn't done anything to the body. Body's fucked up, but everything else looks nice. But it's like so stanced that the frame is almost on the ground. The tires are like this far rotated, or it looks broken. But it surprisingly drives very smooth until you get to like a rough
Really?
road. Like on a clear road, it's comfortable, just coast. But once you
Really?
get to like a slightly bumpy road, jumping all over. It fucking
Oh,
sucks.
yeah.
But it's a nice car. I just don't like how
Yeah.
cambered it is.
alright. If you have a tire with a problem with kineticity, it can cause the vehicle to pull to one side of the road due to the cone shape of the tire. Fly steer is another term. It describes a slight pulling force on the vehicle due to tire construction. Those are basically tire defects. That's what you get right there. Kineticity, fault in the tire that causes the vehicle to pull to one side due to the cone effect shape of the tire. All right, vehicle handling and tire slip angle. As a vehicle is turned, the wheels are moved while the tire remains in contact with the road. These actions twist the carcass of the tire, creating a slip angle between the direction the wheel is pointing and the direction the tread is pointing. This movement causes a slight delay in turning of the vehicle and a little bit of tire wear. Slip angle is the angle between the direction the tire tread is heading and the direction the vehicle is pointed. Okay, you probably noticed by now that some cars don't have spare tires anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call that? If your car doesn't have a spare tire, what do they give you instead?
A fill kit.
They give you a temporary mobility kit, yeah.
Is that?
Basically, it's a can of Fix-A-Flat.
That's what that is?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty lame.
I used
Just
to,
trying to save money, you know, and save weight.
when, this was like before I started working on cars. I'm sorry I'm telling stories and shit, but my mom, she has that, but she also had a spare tire, but, you know, she wanted me to use her little pump thing,
Uh-huh.
and there was like the can, you screw it on top of that, and then it goes into the thing, and I thought you were just supposed to use that, and I would keep using it every time I filled up her tire, and then she took it to the tire shop, they took it out, and it was like a little level at the bottom, because you would get new tires.
Yep,
That's what that was?
yep.
Oh, shit.
That's what that was.
Okay.
Okay. Most vehicles come equipped with what they call a space saver tire. It's obviously a little smaller than the normal one. Normally, those are 60 PSI. Okay? It's just designed to save weight and space and all that kind of stuff. Not quite as durable as a full-size tire. Should be removed as soon as possible. That tire is really only designed to get you where you're going. Okay? You're not supposed to drive on it for weeks or months. Okay?
Right here I see a note that says When was the last time you checked the tire pressure in your spare tire?
Yep, a lot of people don't do that.
So you should be regularly, or
You're right, because let's say you were driving down the road and you get a flat tire and you pull your spare tire out and it's flat because you never checked it. Not good, doesn't do you good to have a spare tire if it doesn't have any air in it, right? Because tires lose air just naturally over time. So if you haven't checked your spare tire in 10 years, it may not have any air in it. Then it's not a spare tire anymore, is it?
That happens to my car all the time too.
Me too.
Did it?
The good thing it was at home because when I got home, the car, it said the tire pressure in the back was 25. I was like, what? And I looked, I thought it was new, so I looked around and I found it. So I just changed it. I'm like, I'm gonna change it here so I don't have to change it when I get on the road. So I changed it. I put the tire on, and then so I put in the bolts. I tried to put it down, and it was flat. I was like, I can't do nothing about this. So I put the other one back on because it had air in it.
Oh.
So then I drove to the station, to the gas station, and
Yeah.
put air in it, and then I put it back on the tire, and it got better.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow.
Something like that happened. I used to work over there at a warehouse on Cheyenne and Lamb,
Mm-hmm.
and my tire, got a nail in it because there's a whole bunch of warehouses and I drive right through the middle of them. I got a thick nail like this long in the tire. I got out of the truck, went over to my car, seen it was real flat. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll change it real quick before I leave. Lifted it up, took the tire off, took the spare out. Spare was flat. I guess the bead wasn't even on there. I don't know how that happened.
Really?
So I put the other tire back on. Again, it didn't have any air whatsoever. It was out. Right up the street on Craig, there's a tire shop that I went to, and I was surprised. They charged me $15 for the patch, and then they filled up the spare for free. Put the spare in my car, and then I put the tire back on there. I didn't let them put it on there. I put it on myself because I think I told you last time I went to a shop, not them, but
Yeah.
they torqued it too
Yeah.
hard. I had to get the lug nut cut
Right,
off and
right.
some bullshit. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a
So,
problem.
some of the tires, when you get a flat tire,
Uh-huh.
you can still drive. So-
Yeah, those are called run flat tires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No
great.
flats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our girlfriend has a 2022 BMW. She was driving down Jones a couple of weeks ago and she hit one of those potholes. I don't know if anybody ever driven around the area of Jones and Russell. Road's horrible. She hit a pothole, it actually blew the sidewall out of the tire. I mean, just big old chunk, just right up, but it was a run flat tire. So the warning on the dash said, tire pressure 0, but, obviously said, you can drive 50 miles an hour for however many miles on the tire with it flat. But, so, yes, but those are special tires and she ended up having to go to the deal and get a new tire, but, so, yeah, that's what those are. Okay, we'll get into a little bit of, back there it is right there. RFT, okay, it's designed to operate without any air from a limited distance. I think that's actually what it said. You can drive 50 miles at about no more than 50 miles an hour on the tire with no air. Okay? It's also called an extended mobility tire. Requires the air pressure sensor transmitter and dash mounted receiver to warn the driver the tire has lost pressure.
The cars come from the factory with running flats too.
Some cars do, yeah. Mhm.
Like Mercedes, maybe.
Yeah, some do, some don't, but. Pax Run Flat Tires. Michelin developed that tire and has 3 unique components. A special wheel, it has 2 beads. Its seats are of different diameters. Urethane supporting ring that helps support the weight of the vehicle in the event of a flat tire. And a special tire designed to operate without air. Servicing them is a little bit different than a regular tire. I don't know if anybody's ever changed one of those, but special procedure for that.
What is it?
What's that?
What is that in the middle?
This
Sensor.
tire pressure sensor.
Yeah.
We'll get into tire pressure monitoring systems and all that stuff as well. We go through all of that. Conventional tire on the left and a run flat on the right, showing what happens when there's no air on the tire. If it's one of those Pax Run Flat tires, has those 3 components we talked about. You can see that support ring inside of it.
At Land Rover, they have like foam inside their tires.
They have their what?
Foam inside their tires.
Really?
We're doing like a tire change. They were showing me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, what was the foam in the tires? This is it helps like reduce the stroke sounds.
Oh. You know why? It was probably an EV.
No, it was a Range Rover Defender.
It wasn't an electric vehicle?
No, it was.
Because I know some of those have, different,
It was
inside tires.
Like square foams and like around the tire. So
Huh.
I tell them why, it's just like, cause you know when you drive, like it's like a smooth, it gives you like a smooth ride on the road, so you don't hear the road sound, like noise when you're driving.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Interesting.
You could ask them and let us know
I did,
next time.
I
Well,
did, that's it,
yes.
it's for the road.
Oh, they said it was for noise, huh?
Noise.
Yeah.
that's
Thank you. Okay. GMTPC ratings, these are on General Motors equipped vehicles. OE tires have a rating that identifies size as well as tread design, wear, traction wear, all that factors. Combine with set of numbers on the side of the tire. Wheel, okay, wheel offset. A wheel that has a positive offset is if the center section is outward from the wheel center line. Wheel has a negative offset if the center section is inboard or dished from the wheel center line. Your back spacing is also called rear spacing or backside setting. It's a distance between the back of the rim and the center section mounting pad. Bolt circle. Your vehicle's either going to have 4, 5, 6, or 8 lug nuts or bolts. Bolt circle is a measurement taken from the center to center on opposite studs or holes. Just showing you how to do it. One method is to measure from far edge of one bolt to the center of the other two over, which they'll show you in a minute. Two types of wheel constructions, either steel or aluminum. Steel wheel's strong, designed to help. The fact that work hard during manufacture. Steel wheels are formed from welded hoops that are flared, joined together to stamped spiders. Your forged aluminum wheels, those are pretty popular. Wheels that are commonly used on cars and trucks. Forged means the aluminum's hammered or forged under pressure into shape. Size of the wheel is usually cast or stamped into the wheel. This wheel is 7 inches wide. The letter J refers to the contour of the bead, seat area of the wheel. Here's different parts of the wheel. Your flange, the bead seat, the well where the center is. Side view, showing you the center line, back side, front side. Offset, distance between the center line of the wheel and the mounting surface. Negative offset on the left, positive offset on the right. If you want to measure the back spacing on the wheel, you could do it like that. Distance from the mounting pad to the edge of the rim. Most custom wheels use this measurement to indicate the location of the mounting pad in relationship to the rim. You buy different rims for your car, you gotta know all that stuff, right? So you make sure it fits. Bolt circle, that's the diameter of the circle that can be drawn through the center of each lug or stud. On a 4 lug, you would measure it like that. A 5 like that, outside of 1 to the middle of the 1, 2 over. Center to center distance, not worry too much about that. center to center on a 4, outside edge to the center of the other one, directly across or 2 over. Okay, what does the symbol mark on the wheel mean?
Japan wheel like man.
Probably everybody's seen that at some point in time on these wheels. That's a very popular stamp on some of these Japanese cars on the wheels. You see JWL on there.
That's every car at the dealership.
Yep, yep. Japan light wheel, yeah, looks just like that. Okay, offset, location of the wheel center section relative to the center line. Okay, everybody should be familiar with tire valves, right? Trader valve, that's what holds the air in the tire.
Yeah.
Most people agree that the valve stem should be replaced whenever the tires are replaced. Normally, they'll do that anyway. A lot of times, the valve stem is part of the tire pressure sensor, so you don't get new valve stems. Aluminum alloy wheels often require special ones. The rubber washer and actually bolted to the wheel. Different types. Lug nuts. Unless you are at one of the dealers that make German cars, you won't see lug nuts on those. You'll see bolts. The wheels are actually bolted on, they don't have studs. Anybody seen those before? Yeah? No?
You talking about like the wheel face to the?
Yeah, if it doesn't have lug nuts, it actually has bolts.
Then yes, I'm talking about the.
Very popular with Volkswagen,
Some
Audis,
BMWs too.
Mercedes,
Small
some-
amount,
Yeah.
like the older ones though.
Lug nuts. Designed to hold the wheel and the brake disc. Assembly, brake drum, wheel bearing assembly. Some vehicles use a lug bolt that is threaded into the hole in the back of the brake drum for bearing assembly. Okay, the bolts, you can see that on a lot of German cars. Typical lug nuts are tapered so that the wheel stud will center the wheel on the vehicle. That's why, that's the purpose of the taper on the lug nut. Yeah.
What are those? I don't know if those are the bolts and lug nuts, but what are those ones where the rotor is like it doesn't have the lug or the bolt sticking out? It's a hole and you screw the lug into there.
Right, those are the ones that are bolted.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it will have a little flange area so where you can
Yeah.
put the wheel on there and kind of, it'll
Yeah, it's
hold
like
it.
a little.
And then you just
spacer
kind of
type
rotate
thing.
it till you line the hole up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Many alloy wheels use the same type that have straight edges without the taper. Lug studs pressed into the hump in the back. Different types of lug nuts.
Knockoffs.
Knockoff wheel. Anybody ever heard of that?
Yeah, they're called reps now.
They're called what?
Reps, like replicas.
Oh. So if you notice, there's no lug nuts on this wheel, right?
It's behind it.
This is actually what holds the wheel on.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
There is no lug nuts.
I thought it was one of those where you move it and it's behind the.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Those are the fake knockoffs.
Oh, okay.
This is the real thing. You know how you get these off? They used to give you a rubber hammer in the trunk of the car.
Hit it with a mallet.
You just hit this and go, and then unscrew this big nut here and pull the wheel off.
Damn.
Yep.
Did it work though?
Yeah.
No problem.
Nope. Nope. As long as you get it tight when you put it back on. So that's what they call a look-alike. Obviously, this has the thing that kind of looks like the knockoff on it, but as you can see, it's got lug nuts on it. It's a phony, but yeah.
So, there would be no type of way to like torque that to make sure you're good. You just have to hit
Yeah,
it
you
a
just
couple
hit
times?
it a couple times with a hammer, make sure it's tight,
Okay.
you're good to go. Yeah, pretty weird. You don't see too many of those.
Yeah,
They're just
also, I
phonies.
was wrong on that. The first picture was a real one. I got knocked
Oh.
off by the knockoff smoke. The second one, that one would be considered
Right, right.
a red wheel.
Yep. Okay, everybody's seen that before. Here's just telling you how to visually check a tire for damage, that kind of stuff, checking the air pressure, everybody knows how to do that. Nothing too exciting there. Tread depth, you should know how to do that. If you don't have a tread depth gauge, you can use a penny. the top of Lincoln's head is visible, then it needs a new tire. But if his head is hiding in the tread, it's probably got a little bit of life left on it. Okay, let's go through this. You're the lucky guy that gets the color picture. You wake back here? Alright.
There was an eclipse today.
Yeah, no, they were all outside watching.
How about you? You alright today?
Yeah, they went outside. Caseworker?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see
Oh,
it,
is
but
that something you do on a regular basis?
I know somebody that probably reported it. And if not, it's all over
Oh, have you ever done it before?
social media. I'll
No?
find it one day. At some point today.
You playing rough with
supposed to
something,
come
you
out
don't
till
messed up?
2045.
Nah, I just only wanted to try it,
Okay.
see if I might lose.
You get any word on your Camaro?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. You might, maybe you missed it, I
I
don't know.
probably did.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
has it been now? Like a month?
3 weeks.
On Wednesday, it'll be 3 weeks.
Damn.
You tell them the whole class is gonna come down there and rough them up if they don't get that
Yeah.
damn thing done.
We'll do the job ourselves.
Yeah, we could all ganged up on it, had it done by now.
Nah, for real.
Bless you. Hmm.
Did you go shopping last time? So I see. You all can obviously read through these chapters on your own. We just don't have time to go through every page as a class, so I kind of expect you should do a little bit of your own looking at this stuff, help you out. Obviously, you don't have to read every page, but you know, maybe find things in there that look like they might be interesting, or you might need to know, or want to know, or whatever. Because we went through every page as a class, with class they have to go a year.
You talking about the entire book, or you talking about?
No, I'm talking about everything that we do, like even just like this chapter, you know, we go through this, the board, and talk about this and that and whatever, but we don't touch on every single thing that's in that chapter in the book. There's a lot more in the book than there is in the PowerPoint. So, obviously, going through it on your own is a good idea.
So I got a question, it's very off topic, like the old school cars, when they had white walls, like was that just for looks, or was there any purpose?
Yeah, that's all it was.
I know some of them sold them like that at the dealership.
There's something here about that.
Yeah, I just
one,
popped up.
338.
White
Yeah, white sidewall letter, all that stuff right here.
Yeah, they do, some of the older cars with 15-inch rims that they used back in the day. White letter tires were very popular. My car still has them. You can still buy those. They're kind of expensive now because there's not very many around.
At least, you know, real decent ones. And was that like a white rubber, or
Yeah,
was that like
yeah,
a
see?
paint?
Ignore,
that's
ignore,
crazy.
ignore the girl. You
Is
can
that
flip
your
the
car?
tire.
So when are you gonna drive it up here, man? That thing is beautiful, oh my lord. I like that.
I read something.
that?
Yeah, that's fucking nice. That looks like it's
Sorry,
brand
there's
new.
sorry, there's a distraction in the picture.
That thing looks brand new. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's 50 years old.
This is nice.
I'm sorry, there's a distraction in the picture. She had to get in there too.
I read something somewhere that when they first
that?
made tires, they were white. They came out white. They were just made
I've
out of
just done
rubber
it
or something
myself.
like that.
Yeah,
The first tires ever
Yeah.
made, like back in the 19,
but most of the
first
paint on
early
that car
1900s.
is 50 years old.
I think there was a reason they
I'm
made
just-
it black.
But
I
it's,
think it was
back then they
because
painted cars in lacquer.
the asphalt
So the
on
cool
the
thing
road,
with that is,
without- first
the
of all,
more
they
you
just get
rub it,
dirty
the more it
and paint
shines,
if they were-
because it's not a
but
two-stage,
the
it's not,
asphalt on
doesn't
the
have a
road,
clear
if it gets
coat
too
over it.
hot,
You know what I
it
mean?
won't
So it
fuck
just
up the
gets a
roads
little bit,
because the roads
every
are
time you
made of
rub
asphalt.
it, it gets just a little bit
Yeah,
better, a
I
little
mean the
bit
white
better.
ones were made out of rubber, and they didn't weren't sticking to the ground or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
when rubber
helps
gets too
protect.
soft.
Of course, everything is two-stage now. So you got
And
the
then
base
people
coat,
were
which is your
like-
color, and then they put a clear over
They
it.
liked how they
So
were
really, all
white,
you're doing is you're waxing.
so they were complaining,
or
why did you
buffing or
make them
whatever
black?
with clear
So
coat.
then they made them black on
If
the
you go, like, to
outside
wrap,
and
I'll
white
put another, like,
in the
wrap.
middle.
Okay.
Just to, like, for
Oh,
people
the
like-
wrap is completely different.
Well, is that just on the car too? Like, is that even better to do?
To do a wrap?
Yeah, like a clear coat over it.
Oh,
Like
I
a
don't know, I've
PPF.
never seen anybody do a clear coat over a wrap.
It's like a PPF.
You can do that?
So for wraps, they make something called a PPF, protective paint film.
Oh,
So you can do that on wraps and paint.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
just an extra wrap that goes over your wrap.
I
It's
got
a
that
clear
makes
wrap.
sense, yeah. Just to protect the wrap or
Yeah,
to make it,
protective
give it a
paint.
little shine or something?
It's not really much of a shine, but
No.
depending on the color, it can give it a shine. Like
Oh, I
a
see.
black, solid, dark color, yeah, but lighter colors, it's harder to see.
I see.
Because every time I clean my car, I wax it.
Yeah.
It's just like shiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
It's
what
even
they do.
slippery, like if you put your hands on it.
Exactly, that's what it's supposed to
You
be.
shouldn't put
Right.
your hands on it though.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah,
Anyway, real quick, is that the, like the factory paint, or did you repaint it?
Okay, so I got the car 4 years ago. It's been sitting in a garage in California for 40 years. It still had the plate on it that expired in 1982.
Oh,
And the car had no engine in it, so I know for a fact the car hadn't run in 40 years. So, as far as I know, a lot of the paint is original on the car.
okay,
It had a dent in the right rear quarter panel behind the tire.
Mhm.
I had to have that fixed, so I had to have that little section painted. But other than that, it's just old paint.
Was it hard to get the specific paint, or did you just get somebody to color
I
match it?
happen to know a guy that was really, really good painter at a body shop. He took care of it for me. He matched it pretty good, as good as you can get to try to match 50-year-old lacquer.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Okay, cool.
he actually did a pretty good job of it. Okay. Let's see, where are we at?
first one.
Yeah, first one. Okay.
Technician A says to always purchase replacement tires with the same or greater speed rating as when the vehicle is new.
Not sure.
Technician B says to install the same type of tire on all wheels. Which technician B?
Both.
That makes sense, right?
Both?
Yeah. Same or greater speed rating, you certainly don't wanna go lower speed rating. And you should install the same type of tire. An example, if it's a mud and snow tire, you should put that back on it.
The part of,
Alright.
the part of the tire that is just under the tread of a radial tire is called is that the belt?
The belt.
Okay, good. I thought I was wrong. I couldn't find it.
If, number 3, if the center section of a wheel is outward from the wheel center line, it has
Positive offset.
A positive offset, yes.
That's crazy. I guessed on those 3. Well, the 2 and 3.
For when selecting a new tire for a vehicle, all are unimportant consideration except
B.
Please don't anybody miss this question.
D.
They're asking which one isn't important. Size of the lettering, right? Obviously size, speed rating, tire width, all that's important. Hopefully nobody missed that question.
I got D.
Please tell me you didn't.
Which part of the wheels should one be
Which part of the wheel is it possible for holding the tire bead in place?
Let's put A.
It's B.
A?
B.
Okay, I guess.
You could find the
On the
picture.
outside.
Yeah.
What page is it?
A-
1351.
Yeah.
Oh, A is good?
Really?
So 1351?
Yeah.
1351, let's take a look, 1351.
Oh, that's the flanges, the bead seat. Yeah, that's where the bead sits. It goes under the flanges.
So it's A?
Right?
I thought it was on the outside, that's all. Alright,
So it is A.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought I got it
That's
wrong.
it. Okay. 6,
Wait, you said 5 is A?
yep.
looks like 5 would be B.
It says it right under it. The wheel rim is well provide. Oh wait, the wheel rim well provides a space for the tire to fit during mounting. The bead seat provides a tire to wheel sealing surface.
Yep.
The phalange holds the beads in place.
Mhm.
So, that is actually where the tire
Oh, for
seals to the
holding
rib
the
to keep
beads
the air
in
from
place.
leaking out of it, right at the bead,
Yeah. The
right?
flange holds it.
Right,
Okay.
okay. 6.
Number 6,
Number 6, yeah.
put B.
Would be,
Better
huh?
read it.
Load index marked on the tire indicates the maximum load the vehicle can carry. That is not true, right? It's how much the tire can carry. So B is right. Easy question for you, brother. How you doing on it?
What size lug nut would fit in a metric wheel stud? C?
There's only one metric size there.
And doesn't that M stand for metric?
M 12/1.5. Okay.
Hydroplaning can occur at speeds as low as 30 miles per hour.
That is correct.
Some vehicles use lug bolts instead of lug nuts.
That is
False.
correct. We knew that.
Wait, what is 8?
8.
30.
A.
Alrighty.
A 9 is false.
True.
No, false. Or true, I mean.
It's true, yeah. Some vehicles
I
don't
just said it
have
just to say.
lug nuts, they have lug
myself
bolts.
up.
German cars, Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes, that kind of stuff.
9.
10. Front wheel drive vehicles usually use what type of wheel?
Is it C?
0 set.
Which one?
0 offset? C?
It's positive.
Positive offset, liver.
Positive.
Positive offset lug rod.
All right. Radial tire cause a vehicle to pull to one side while driving. This is called radial tire pull and is often due to what?
Tread. The conicity.
Canicity.
Conicity, cone shape of the tire, because it was assembled wrong when they built the tire. What does the letter JJ mean on the wheel designation label? 14 by 7, you know, rim diameter, rim width. What's the JJ stand for? Nobody remembers that one, huh?
No, we
C.
saw JLW or something like that. We didn't see no
C.
JJ.
Well, C, the JJ's for the, what's it called? The type of wheel it is. This is for the.
No, you're thinking of the JLW, that's just a Japan light wheel. But then the JJ, after it, on the inside of a wheel, which I believe there's a picture of it here. Yeah,
Isn't the back space?
1350 in the picture, you'll see it says, I think it says 18 by 7, I can't read it that good. And then it has a J after it. This one just happens to ask if it has 2 J's. But what does the J mean?
Refers to the contour of the bead seat area of the wheel.
The letters JJ indicate the exact shape of the flange area.
And there you have
Where y'all
it.
finding that at?
Where's
That
that?
is 1350, where under wheels, where it says figure 11322, right above that sentence.
Oh,
Shape
no,
of the flange
that's
area.
Thank you.
Okay, number 3.
Technician A says that grooves in the tire tread are necessary for excellent dry traction. Technician B says grooves in the tire tread are necessary for wet traction to prevent hydroplaning. Which technician is correct? Both of them.
No,
I say both of them.
that is a commonly missed question. The grooves in the tire have nothing to do with dry traction. It's just
Just
to
wet?
prevent, it's to channel water out from under the tire.
Okay.
3 is B, okay.
All radial tires are belted.
True.
Correction.
Yup.
So it's
Purchasing and replacement tires do not change the width from stock by more than how much?
I'm gonna say A just because it's smaller.
10 millimeters. Although nobody cares about that, that's the rule that you're supposed to follow.
Tire quality grading system includes tread
All
wear.
the above.
All of the above. We did that one. We did that one.
Oh,
That one. Number 9.
tire labeled 215/60R by 1592T. The 92 indicates, is that the speed rating? Yeah, the T is the speed rating, never mind. Temperature resistance rating? No, because they get higher than that. It's not that. Tread wear. Load
Somebody
rating.
said it in the back.
I said it.
How
He
do you
said
know
nothing, I
that?
said it.
92, that's the load rating. How much can that tire carry?
Technician A says that a damaged bead can be repaired. Technician B says that tires with damaged beads must be replaced. Must be replaced.
Absolutely, you cannot repair the bead of a tire if it's messed up.
You know what's crazy? I guessed every single answer except the right one.
You're getting good.
No, random
No.
question. I have a random question.
Yeah.
You know the wheels on your car, did you buy them like,
Okay. The one on the picture, you
yeah,
mean?
the picture?
Okay, so, when I got the car, somebody had taken the original wheels off it and put on something that they used to love back in the 70s. I didn't care for them, so I took them off and sold them. And I bought the original wheels, put back on. So that is the original wheel that came on that car, right? Yeah.
How
'Cause
much?
I wanted the original look because I liked the original look of the car. I didn't want to deviate from that.
How much did you buy the car for? Like the way it was?
Okay, that's an interesting question because,
There's no engine in there, right?
right, but I had the original engine, I got it with it, but it was just in pieces, in milk crates, parts, you know, just, it was a basket case kinda. So, here's what happened. At the time I got that car, I had a '69 Firebird convertible that I had had for like 22 years. It was a really nice car, it was all done, I was getting ready to sell it. I ran across this car, and I made a deal with the guy, we ended up doing a trade. So I traded that car for my other car, and he gave me $12,000 cash. So, because my car was obviously done and worth more than the other one, but I wanted this car more, so it was a trade with cash.
What car was it?
What's that?
The car that you traded for?
It was a '69 Firebird convertible,
Oh,
404 speed, it was a real nice car. But, I wanted this one more, so I made the trade with him. So originally, he goes, obviously you're gonna want some money if we do a trade. I said, yeah. So he goes, what are you thinking? I said, I'm thinking you need to give me 15 grand. He goes, I was thinking 10. I was like, that's not gonna work. So he starts to leave, and I go, wait a minute. Why don't we meet in the middle, dude? That's a negotiation, right? You got one number, I got another number. Let's try to come to an agreement. So I said, how about 12.5? He goes, okay. So I got 12,000 and that car, so.
okay.
Okay, next chapter is tire pressure monitoring systems. We will go through this one before we get out of here today. Okay. Everybody knows almost every car's got a tire pressure monitoring system on it now. I think it was built after 2007. It will have some sort of tire pressure monitoring system on it that will alert you if you have a low tire, okay? TPMS it's called. They do have a thing called the Tread Act, which we don't worry too much about. It's interesting that it spells tread. There's direct and indirect systems, 2 types of sensors. We're gonna go through a little bit of operation, how they work. Direct and indirect, the tools for diagnosis. Everybody's done tire programming, right? When you do a tire rotation, we gotta reprogram the position of the tires so that the receiver knows where the tires are. So if it says your left front tire's low, it's actually your left front tire.
Yeah.
Because if you rotate them, it doesn't know anymore,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Replacement options for sensors, how to relearn them, which probably everybody's done. Okay, the background for the system detects the tire has low inflation pressure, warns the driver two types of systems, direct and indirect. Low tire pressure will affect your fuel economy and tire life, reduces handling and braking efficiency. You already know that you should inflate the tires to the inflation pressure on the placard. You should do it cold. It's always going to be listed as cold tire pressure when you read that. Temperature and inflation pressure. As the tire becomes warmer, the pressure goes up, right? Door jam sticker, nothing new there. Okay, the effects of outside temperature on tire inflation. The tire inflation pressure will change 1 psi for every 10 degrees in temperature change. Chart there to show you that. When servicing tires, it's often not practical to allow the tire time to cool off after the vehicle's been driven. Help compensate for that. We put 2 to 4 extra pounds in it. We just saw that. Direct and indirect are the two types of systems, which we'll get to. Transportation Recall Enhancement Accountability Documentation or TREAD Act requires that all vehicles be equipped with a tire pressure monitoring system that will warn the driver in the event of an underinflated tire. Anything built after September 1, 2007, meaning 2008 model year, should have that system on it. Specifies that the driver must be warned of a low tire by turning on an amber warning lamp. The 25% rule says if the tire inflation drops by 25% or more, should turn that light on.
What happened? What happened to cause them to enact that rule? Usually they won't do something like that unless something really bad happened.
Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm just assuming that it was just a good idea for safety, because how many people actually check their tire pressure on their cars? Not very many. And if you're driving down the road and maybe you get a flat tire, you might not notice it. That happened to me. I was coming back from Utah one time. It was snowing, and I was driving down this mountain road, and I hit something in the road that looked like a snowball, and I hit it with the right front tire. Didn't think much of it. I kept driving down the road. The car was handling fine, but the warning came on the dash, said right front tire, 0 pressure. I was like, what? So I was driving a flat tire. I didn't even know it. So it's a good idea to have that. So it's just a safety thing.
How did people know back then there was no like lights?
Exactly. You actually had to observe your car, like almost like a pre-trip with people that, for truck drivers. Walk around, check the tire, check the lights, all that kind of stuff. The car didn't tell you anything back in the older cars. You had to physically check it. You had to check your tire pressure once a month. You had to check the oil. There was no low coolant lights. There was no low. You had to check all that stuff. Now the car tells you everything.
It's kind of on top of what you just said, how you had to do that, like the checker on the car and everything. Last week, somebody at Honda had a battery replacement, and he took it out for a test drive to make sure all the lights were, not going to come up or whatever. And brake lights were out, and nobody noticed or said anything to him. So when he was out, he got pulled over.
Really?
That little time, he came back. He told us, like, he explained to him, like, he just took it around the corner for a test drive, just blah blah blah, because he had his uniform on. They could see it.
Right.
And he was like, all right, I'll just let you off one more next time. Make sure you check everything before you pull out, because I don't want to give you a ticket to somebody else's car.
And again, when you when a car comes in for a service, even if it's your basic routine maintenance, or oil change, tire rotation, whatever, filters,
Yeah.
you should check that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you
We
got to
did check
figure, nobody knows if their tail lights are out, because you
Yeah.
can't see them.
When we pull into the bay, they have the big mirrors on the back
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
can check it. Just
Right.
nobody
You have
thinks
to
of it.
back it up to there.
Yeah.
Yep. I've seen people driving around with no taillights because one bulb burned out and nobody told them, and they didn't know, and then the other one burns out, and all of a sudden they got no taillights, and they don't even know it. So somebody's honking at them or whatever.
I tried to tell somebody at a red light one time, and the dude was pissed off about something, trying to cuss me out.
Oh, really?
I rolled my window out and was like, whatever, I hope you get pulled over. It's evil, but I was like, I hope you get
Right.
pulled over.
Okay, An indirect system uses speed sensors to detect differences in the tire speeds. An underinflated tire will rotate faster than a properly inflated tire. Why is that? Underinflated tire will rotate faster. Does that make sense? Why would it do that? Anybody know?
It's not fade all the way.
Because what?
Pulled up all the way.
Yeah.
It's not fully expanded, so to
Right,
get more
so,
resistance.
so an underinflated tire is actually smaller, right?
Yeah,
Smaller it is, faster it's gonna rotate, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Compensation for cornering. To compensate for the normal change in wheel rotation speed, indirect systems will check diagonally opposed wheels. Diagnosis. Low tire pressure light on. If the light is flashing, there's a problem with the system. If the light is just on, you got a low tire. So that's the way those systems work typically. Okay, if you start your car up and the low tire pressure light flashes, and then it just stays on, you got a problem with the system, the tire pressure sensor, something's wrong, okay? But if the light is just on steady and it doesn't flash, you got a low tire, okay? Okay, typically a reset's involved if you have to replace a sensor. We talked about this already. You can see the center line of the wheel to the road surface. Underinflated tire, obviously, it becomes a little bit shorter. It's going to rotate faster. Speeds of the diagonally opposed wheels are added together and then compared to the other two to compensate for cornering, so it doesn't tell you have an underinflated tire when you really don't. All right. Indirect system, monitoring system has a reset switch that should be depressed after rotating the tires. You don't see too many of those anymore. All right. Direct tire pressure monitoring systems. They'll use individual pressure sensors located in each wheel to measure inflation pressure. Each one of your tires has a tire pressure sensor in it if your car is 2008 model year or newer. Because the variety of systems used, system information is needed to determine what type of system is on the vehicle. Just different manufacturers. Each sensor will use a 3-volt lithium-ion battery that has a service life of 7 to 10 years. Some of them don't last more than 3 years. They've gotten some pretty bad batteries lately. I was at the Discount Tire a while back, and the guy was, we were talking about that. He said, yeah, some of these newer cars that are only 2 and 3 years old, the tire pressure sensor's going bad, and them already batteries are going dead. You can't replace a battery.
Yeah.
You know, the system is sealed, right? If the battery goes bad, you have to replace the tire pressure sensor. Obviously, that includes deflating the tire, dismounting it, changing the sensor, and so, yeah. You have a question? No?
No.
For Land Rover, they said the battery, one of the batteries in the electric cars
Mhm.
are supposed to last up to 7 to 10 years.
Yep, yep.
They put it under like the seat where like no heat or anything can come into it, and they close it up. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess mine are way overdue, because, let's see, my car is 12 years old. I've never replaced a tire pressure sensor.
Mine's is.
Now that I said that, probably the light's gonna come on. when I don't-
16.
Okay, 2 types of sensors, banded sensors or valve stem mounted. Most of them are valve stem mounted. Modes of operation, active, sleep, and alert. So the batteries don't go dead too soon. Your tire pressure sensors actually go to sleep when you park your car. So it's not using any battery life, okay? When it starts rotating again, it's got some inertia type sensor in it. When it starts rotating, the tire pressure sensor will wake up. Also, there's a storage mode. So if a tire pressure sensor is sitting on the shelf somewhere, it's not using the battery. You know, it's not like if you buy a tire pressure sensor that's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years, you don't have 2 years less life on it because it was sitting on the shelf, okay? Once that's installed and you start putting air in it, I think when it gets to like 15 or 20 pounds of air, the sensor actually wakes up, okay? It goes out of storage mode. So it won't return to storage mode once it's out, okay? All right. Rear plastic valve stand monitoring sensor showing the round battery on the right, electronic sensor circuits on the left. Dimensional valve stem on the right, and one with sensor on the left. This is what most of them look like. Clamping style, small hole. To measure the inflation pressure. This is one of the things that tire slime or fix-a-flat will ruin your tire pressure sensors. It will plug up this hole, and then it won't work anymore. So avoid that if you can. I mean, if it's an emergency, it is what it is. But snap in, clamp in, and the one on the bottom, the blue, is a banded type. It doesn't show the band, but Ford used to use those years ago. It was actually banded around the inside of the rim. So you can see the signals being received by the receiver. Says, yep, all the tires are okay. Remember, it's got to be 25% inflated before the light will come on. Sim mounted, band mounted. Okay. Operation. Continuous wave, magnetically triggered, pulse width modulated. Most frequencies are 315 megahertz, which I'm sure nobody cares about. It will have a receiver somewhere in the car. Something has to pick up that signal, right? It could be in the body control module. It could be in the RKE, remote keyless entry receiver, door module. Or it could have antennas near each wheel well. Some vehicles will actually display the tire pressure. That's pretty common. .39 degrees outside, and this picture was taken.
And 7,000 miles.
7,000 miles.
I wish
Tires
I
were
had
cold,
7,000
probably.
miles on mine.
Yes, morning lamp. Yeah, I was just telling you about that. We'll warn you of a low tire. There are tire pressure codes as well that will be stored in the body control module of the vehicle if it has a problem with the sensor or receiver or something like that. All right, check the sensors before and after service. So what they're saying here is if you're doing some sort of tire repair or something like that, make sure that you didn't mess something up. Make sure it works before you take it apart. So if somebody doesn't say, well, it didn't do that before, you must have messed my car up. Everybody's seen these little things where you program the tires. You just hold it next to the valve stem. If it's a GM vehicle, a horn will honk. You start from which tire?
The front.
Left front, right? And go around the car clockwise, right? Yep.
I haven't
Okay.
done that.
Exactly.
Like that, what other cars, what's it called, like, other cars use that too? Or they do different things?
I'm not sure, but typically that's the normal procedure for reprogramming your tire. Start with the left front, go to the right front, go to the right rear, then go to the left
Not
rear.
for all cars?
I think so, not sure.
But around the sensor,
Mhm. Yeah, oh yeah, that would be the same, yeah. Okay, on the diagnosis, the warning lamp is on, but it does not flash. That just means you have a low tire. If it's flashing, it means that the sensor is not properly registered with system, it has a defective sensor, dead battery, fault in the receiver or the module, something like that. Normally it will flash for like 5 seconds and then it'll just stay on, okay? It won't just keep flashing because that would be annoying while you're driving down the road, right? Light, everybody knows what that looks like. Activation methods. They don't use a magnet anymore. They used to use that years ago. Changing inflation pressure triggered by a handheld TPMS tester. That's the one that most common. Don't use that anymore. Handheld tester really is all you're gonna use now. Diagnostic tools. Scan tool, register sensor, perform initialization, monitor sensor values. Your handheld tester will do sensor activation, relearn, programming. When replacing a sensor, you may have to record the ID on the sensor. I don't know if you have to do that anymore, but you used to. Sensor related or replacement options. I always recommend OE, but if you have to go aftermarket, just, sometimes they're a little cheaper, but sometimes you get what you pay for too, so. Relearn procedure, fall into one of 4 categories. Auto relearn, Europeans are different, manual relearn, and then you got OBD, onboard diagnostics relearn. Okay, we know all about this. You start at the left front and you go around the car clockwise, so that's nothing new. Whenever servicing a tire or wheel assembly and it has a direct TPMS system, certain items are needed. Service information, digital tire pressure gauge, valve core torque wrench, valve nut torque wrench, believe it or not, sensor service kit. Always use an accurate, known, good tire pressure gauge. Digital usually more accurate than mechanical. This is a clicker type valve core tightening thing, so you don't over tighten it. It's kind of like a little torque wrench. Just the different types of tire pressure monitoring sensors, and that
Copyright.
is that. That is that.
Copyright.
Everything you ever want to know about a tire pressure monitoring system. Torque. Then one for you. Still working or are we done? Still working?
We can start.
Couple more?
We're good.
You ready?
I'm ready. Oh, okay. All right, we're ready. Let's do it.
All right, a tire has a recommended pressure of 32 PSI. The TPMS should light the lamp when the pressure in the tire reaches 30 PSI.
Oh, yeah?
Is that right?
If it's supposed to be 32, when does it turn the light on?
25%,
25%.
24 PSI.
So it's gonna be 24, right? Okay.
8/16/24.
25%.
Turn the light on when it gets to 24, okay.
A vehicle with TPMS has a flashing TPMS warning lamp. This means either A or B.
Both of them? Both of them?
Yeah,
Both of them?
should be.
I think it's A.
Not
I didn't,
both.
It's A?
So it's just
No.
A?
it's just B, right?
Yep. If it's flashing, there's a problem with the sensor, not a flat tire.
Well,
It's
if it
just
is-
gonna be on if it's low.
I guess I thought of like the more specific type because like, okay, for me, I was just driving down the street one time and my tire just blew up. Like I ran over something that completely blew up and just turned on. It started going.
Yep, it will just turn on. It won't flash unless there's a problem with the sensor, right?
Got you. So it's just B?
Yes.
Got you.
A valve core torque wrench is needed to service TPMS tire valves.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those little things that you like put through the hole, screw it in, you pull it off, pull it up.
No, it looks like a regular valve core tool that you would screw the valve core in with, only it's got a little clicker type thing on it. So it won't let you over tighten it. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else then.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the tool that you use to take it out with.
Mm-hmm, right.
The neck snap.
Yep, that way
What
you
they
know
call
not
that,
to
Honda.
over tighten it. Yeah.
A question for, to activate or land a direct pressure sensor, what does the service technician need to do?
Any of the above depending on the vehicle system.
Mhm.
It's C?
D, yeah.
Oh, D.
D.
Depending on the vehicle, any of those could be possible, yeah.
What was the purpose of the TMS light? A, detect the tire, detect the pressure.
Good, yep,
What did he say?
Hey,
yep.
A
It
for
will not inflate your tire,
I wish it
and
could.
it will not flash it if it's just low.
5?
Yeah, 5.
Five is A.
Okay? Just A. Purpose of the system is just to let you know if you have a low tire. Okay, 6.
Which tire inflation information should be checked to determine the proper tire inflation
Damn.
pressure? A.
A, right. Full bucket inflation pressure on the doorpost sticker.
Technician A says that the tire pressure can be 5 PSI below specification, but do not turn on the TPMS light warning lamp. Technician B says the vehicle with TPMS does not need to have the tire pressure checked monthly. Goes correct. Neither?
Neither?
Yeah.
Actually, A is correct. If your tire is 5 PSI below specifications, it will not turn the light on. This guy says, you don't have to check the tire pressure because I have a tire pressure monitoring system. Yeah, you should do that. So, okay, A. Okay, H.
A tire, is it me?
Yep.
A tire with lower than specified inflation pressure could lead to what condition? All of the above.
Yes, it could.
I couldn't find it, but I took an educated guess. What mode does a direct pressure sensor enter when the vehicle is stopped? Sleep mode?
I'm sorry.
Is it A? Sleep
Mhm.
mode? Okay.
When you park your car, the tire pressure sensors go to sleep, so it doesn't just run the battery dead all the time.
Motion.
So it's ran by motion?
Yeah, that'll wake it up again once the car starts moving.
When you get for 8,
I'm sorry.
8,
8?
B.
D?
Number 10, two technicians are discussing the indirect tire pressure monitoring system. Technician A says that it was used by some vehicle manufacturers. B says that it uses the speeds of the RF and LR tires and compares the rotating speeds of the
That's right here, it's a Jecto tire. What do you think about that one? Did they ever use an indirect system? Technician A says it was used by some vehicle manufacturers.
it could be
A
right.
is right,
Okay.
A only. I think,
Technician B says it uses the speeds of the left and right, or right front and left rear tires and compares rotating speed with the left front, right rear.
I don't recall that.
Is it?
That's how it works.
So it's both?
So both?
Yep,
Both.
What page is that on for the left front and the right rear?
should be 1316. Under indirect system, it tells you how it compensates for corners.
When the vehicle turns to outside wheels, rotate faster than inside to compensate for this normal change. The indirect tire pressure checks the diagonally opposed wheel.
Alrighty then. Okay, that was it, that was right, 10, okay, let's see, let's do the next one. Okay. We get the valve core torque wrench question, which one of these is designed to be used with the tire pressure monitoring system? A or B? Both of them? Anybody else? Anybody not like that
This
answer?
valve stems is designed to be used with the TPMS sensor.
A.
A?
This guy right here. This is just a regular old valve stem,
Yeah.
okay?
The TPMS sensor needs replacement, which it uses not an option.
You got a bad tire pressure monitor sensor, which of these is not an option to fix that?
What does OE mean?
B, original, OE.
Which one?
What A? What's OE
It's C,
sensor?
because you said you can't replace the battery.
Exactly. OE means original equipment.
Hmm.
The one you cannot do is replace the sensor battery. Okay, somebody was paying attention back there. All right, number 4.
All of the above.
We did that, right? What does the delta pressure method mean? We didn't cover that, did we? Anybody
Is it
want
D?
to take a stab at it?
Is it D?
Nope.
B,
B.
Nope.
Both.
C.
Both.
Nope.
A.
Hey, yep.
We guessed all except J.
Get it right sooner or later.
I was going for all the bigger answers.
Yeah. We did that. Start with the left front tire, you do that. To ensure the accuracy of mechanical tire pressure should be used. No. Digital tire pressure gauge is more accurate.
we did that.
Tire can be PSI below spec and not turn the light on, we did that one, okay. All right. We're not gonna get into a new chapter today, we'll cover the rest of what we can do tomorrow, we lost a half a day, so. What's in the book, is there quiz questions in the book we wanna look at real quick before
Yeah,
we,
number 6
okay.
and 7.
6, Okay, what type of valve core is used in a stem mounted sensor?
Valve core steel. Valve core.
Is it B?
It's B, they're nickel plated, yeah. Okay. Which other one didn't we do?
7.
7? Tire pressure sensor sends a signal to the what?
Yes, E, right?
Yep, any of those, depending on the vehicle. Could be the body control module, remote keyless entry receiver, or the door module. Not an option to replace the battery. 9 is C. To activate it, what do you do? Any of those, depending on the vehicle and the system. Okay. Alright. Next chapter talks about wheel or tire wheel service. Not a whole lot to get into there, but
And like, what are we testing on this Wednesday? Or are we just waiting to,
this,
what chapters?
let me take a quick look, because I'm not sure. Sometimes when we have, a block of lessons, it takes 2 weeks. Sometimes there's gonna be one, sometimes there'll be one for each week. Let me check real quick. There is 2. So this Wednesday is going to be 113 to 118. Then it's gonna be 119 to 125. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Do you have the test for tomorrow?
I'm sorry,
Do you have the test for tomorrow?
what do you mean?
The test for tomorrow that you're gonna give out, do you have those?
There is no test tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
Quizzes,
Tuesday.
the little quizzes after each chapter.
Yeah, the quiz